ultimate. YouTube poop, it's all the rage. It's what you're looking for. It's ultimate. Come on now. Ultimate YouTube poop. Ultimate YouTube poop. Ultimate YouTube poop. Ultimate YouTube poop is what's been all looking for. It's the ultimate YouTube poop. It's what's been looking for. It's what's been searching for. It's what's been scouring the internet for. Sit up close, right by your computer. Lean all into the screen, get ready. Just sit back now. Check one, check two, check 1, 2, 3, 4. You've never seen a poop like this before. Have you want some more?
All right. This is Infinipoop. This is our Poopcast. We have a very special guest today, which we are very proud to be our first. And this is Girla Purple Heart.
Hi, everyone.
Yeah.
How is everyone doing?
Doing fine. Doing fine. And I think real YouTube poop fans will definitely recognize this name.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this. We've had the pleasure of just chatting with her and talking to her for a while now. It's actually our fault. We've been having a lot of technical difficulties here at Infinipoop, and we've just been working this out, and we are just very grateful to Girla to sit through all of this. And thank you again. And you are what I would call a first wave YouTube pooper. We were talking with you a little bit before, and we asked you when you first started pooping, and you said February 17th, 2007. I mean, that's awesome.
I've been making anime music videos before I make YouTube poops. When I first discovered YouTube poop, I was like, oh my god, it was so funny. It cheered me up. And I mean, all the struggles I had on the internet for past years, I've been like down the dumps because I've been like let's just say down the dumps because of all the struggles. I mean, until when I was sophomore year, when I discovered YouTube poop, that's when I'm in the video production. I fell in love with YouTube poop, and I have so much fun with it ever since. And right now I'm just trying to do all the schoolwork and stuff. That's why I haven't been managed to do everything right now.
Yeah, you're actually going to school, and that is awesome. I mentioned before that I think it's always amazing. It's always good when you invest in yourself, no matter what it is. And you make some amazing YouTube poop art, and I know that everybody can't wait till you start, till you come back out with it, but no pressure. I mean, it's most important for you to, do your school and everything.
Yeah, I mean, college has been out of the way. I mean, take your time with your poops, because really, if you have something going on, just take a break from it and do other stuff, because that's how most poopers do.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so when Mullet and I started Infinipoop, an average poop kind of took us about a month to do, and it was because we would actually decide the sources that we would both use, and then we discussed the storyline, and we actually would create a kind of storyboard, and then we would take scenes from the storyboard, and then we would work on our scenes, and then we'd put it together, see if it made any sense or if it was funny, and then we'd go back and we'd work on it again. So it took us a long time, to make a few minutes of a poop, but it was worth it to see the end product. And of course, even working on it, just the act of editing can be, it's a release.
Yeah, I mean,
lots of fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun because you have to have a sense of humor to make YouTube poops. Like, for example, if the king wants dinner, he has to get dinner. I think one of my favorite poops about the king is Dinner Blaster.
Dinner Blaster.
And I like Dr. Robotnik too. Kima got me into liking villains more, including Kefka from Final Fantasy VI and my favorite hero of all time, Zero from Mega Man X.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, the reason why I like making YouTube is because it's fun and I enjoy the characters. I enjoy the shows, the video game cutscenes. I like to mess with it. I like messing everything up when it comes to video effects. I think one of the best part of YouTube is that you can create like effects on it, and it's pretty neat. So,
so you started in 2007, and when did you kind of step away from pooping?
Well, I've been drawing a lot, and then I realized I didn't have time to make YouTube poops as I used to. It's been like a while since I last made a YouTube poop, and I'm thinking of redoing one of my old poops. And since my anniversary's coming up,
You're thinking of what?
It's a re-edit.
A re-edit. Oh, you're gonna kill your original art?
Okay, now this is an inside joke between Mullet and I. We kind of torment each other a little bit because Mullet especially will want to go back to the poops, and because he imagines that the poop has a perfect edit. You know what I mean? And he's creating a Michelangelo, and maybe it looks like a turd, but if he just shapes it a little bit more in this, he'll have the thinking man. And no, so we just kind of talk about it, but we call it a re-edit, and Mullet loves going back to re-edit his poops. So we have no disrespect to that.
I was making a little meta reference to an earlier conversation.
And that's fine.
I have a Back to the Future poop that has like 5 revisions.
Dude, at least.
Yeah. I mean, it's like redoing my art, and sometimes you have to redraw things you wanted to draw and redo your videos with more magic and stuff. I mean, art is magic, I mean, I love doing arts and videos ever since sophomore year. Ugh. Excuse me.
Oh, you're fine. You're great. Yeah, I've always been something of an artist myself. So when Mullet first showed interest in creating some kind of edited, where you get to tell your own story on top of another source, where it no longer is it the original source. It has transformed into, your own piece of art. I don't know why I didn't think of that in 2006, 2007, but it was, better. 2009 was better than never. And we both started to immediately make art. I guess we kind of stopped doing Infinipoop after a couple years, because at the same time, I'm an artist. I'm a musician, and so I was recording a lot of music and doing it
Yeah.
with Mullet, because Mullet was he was in the other half of my he was my vocalist in this project called Honor Citizen. Excuse me. And so I was kind of started to focus more on the music, and I always liked the Poops, especially where there was a focus on music. I always wanted to put more music in the Poops, you know. So then
Yeah.
I just kind of walked away from Poops, went to school, and then now we're back, and we were thinking, you know, who can we have on as our first guest to start this whole shebang, and this is just fantastic to have you on. It really is.
You're welcome. I mean, it's been like years since I started making poops, and it's been I've been telling in love with it ever since. And I don't think I might let it go after I retired, though. I mean, I did mention I might retire sometime in 2019 or 2020, but I don't think that's not going to happen anytime soon. Because even if you're retired from YouTube poops, you can always have it in your heart.
Yes,
Seriously.
that's true.
It will not go away, but hey, it's just part of life.
Oh man, when I watch a movie, okay, so I'll be in the movie theater and I'll watch a movie and I'll see a scene and I'll be like, God, I just want to poop that. You know, so it's in your heart. You know, you have that artistic vision. You see it everywhere, you know? I just want to poop that.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, hey, this is funny. I want to make a YouTube poop out of it. And I'm like, how do I do it? And when I first used Sony Vegas, began using video editing skills ever since. I mean, I used to have Windows Movie Maker before Sony Vegas became a thing, but when I used Sony Vegas, it was a lot better. I mean, I used Premiere and After Effects
Yes.
at school years ago, but
Right.
Sony Vegas is my thing. Top
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, it's kind of like I have other instruments, you know. I have a 12-string Vox. I have a beautiful acoustic guitar, but I just want to play, you know, that Fender Stratocaster, the beat up one, the one that, you know, I dropped a few times because I just I know it. I know every little nook and cranny and crevice of this, you know, and that's kind of the same way I feel about Vegas too, personally, is that if
Yeah.
I want to do something and I want to do
Comfort
it
zone.
fast, it's comfort. Yeah, yeah, it really
You're
is.
savant in the interface. You can
Yeah.
get what you picture you want done, and you just get it done.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's my go-to. The end product, I think, like for Vegas, the end product is always a little bit rougher. Like it doesn't seem to. I mean, you know, I hope I don't get crucified over this, but it just always came out a little rougher than say Premiere. Like if you do your edit in Premiere, it just seemed to be softer, gentler, more, you know, professional.
I can soften up a Vegas edit. It just takes some work.
Yeah, it takes a lot of work to create skills. Like I like when you go with all the videos, like shorten it by 1 second, and it makes repeat it over and over. It makes like a buzzing sound, and it makes it more funnier.
Yes, yes. Yeah, I did that on one of our edits. I think it was the Who's the Master edit from a famous. Well, it's one of my favorite movies. And at one part, it's the DeBarge song. Night. Dancing through the morning light, forget about your worries and your mind. Okay, so it's that song, and then I was like, dude, I'm just gonna like chop this up, use these little tiny but have it be the same notes. So it's just like at this one part, it's like, yeah, that stuff is fun. You know,
I like the sauce too. I like spaghetti jokes, to tell you the truth. I know it's really controversial, but hey, it's a classic, man. I love the dinner classics.
I do too. All the classics are absolutely fantastic. When I first saw them, my mind was just blown. You know what I mean about the creativeness.
I don't remember what it was called, but I saw this really awesome. Well, it's using the Zelda Quebec Gamer sources, but just this really awesome epic story poop. Maybe when I start describing it to you, you'll be familiar. The Squatalaw guy, he gets like, they mix it with Dino Time, and he gets caught in a time travel adventure, and he keeps popping up throughout history, and he's like stuck in time. And it follows a story, like he's trying to, and maybe I don't want to spoil it, but well, I don't want to spoil up fucking Poop. Come on. No, but but he gets stuck in different time periods, and at one point he asks Link to like kill him because he gets to finish watching Dino Time when he's in like the ether in between time periods. And he gets free from his adventure, and then he comes in on the carpet, and he's like happier that he came in on the carpet. Like it's like a Christmas Carol type ending. Like, oh, I saw like it was that theme. Like, man, everything's much better now. The birds, they're so beautiful.
Isn't it beautiful?
Yeah.
I love quilting. I like quilting YouTube poop related stuff, like snooping as usual. I see.
Mom's Adventure, was that? Yeah, it doesn't matter what it's called. People know it.
And I mean, I'm surprised Mama Luigi, the last episode of Super Mario World, became popular. And speaking of Super Mario World, today's the anniversary of the last episode of Mama Luigi. I just checked not too long ago.
So then there must be a serious effort in the pooping community to poop that source again. I would imagine.
Yeah.
Is that true? Is there an effort right now to do that?
Well, I know there's a reanimated version of Mama Luigi, and I think it got so loved that it just became reanimated with different artists. I haven't seen the full one yet, but I've seen some clips of some people do animation of that reanimation of the episode. And it's kind of cool.
Yeah, that is cool. That is very cool.
I mean, actually, Mama Luigi has been a really popular poop source. Overrated, but really popular. Same with CDI games.
Yes, the poopers like their source. Like, there's almost a holy... I don't mean to compare this to a religion thing, but let me go ahead instead and do it. So there's like a poop scripture, and these are the sources. These are the original sources of poop.
Yeah, I've listed them as an overlay in my camera. I just started writing down as many poop memes as I could think of, and it was on my overlay, and it's still there.
And that's really cool. In fact, when I first started to do the poops with Mullet in 2009, I was sort of afraid to go and use the source that everybody else was using, because I thought, oh man, these guys are doing such great work with this source. I don't want to compete in this realm where there's so much brilliant shit And so I'm like, okay, I've got to branch off and do like movies and try to retell stories using movie source and cartoon source, but I don't want to step on, you know, the other poopers. I don't want to like step on their toes and like do what they're doing. But using, you know, what I saw them doing, I saw as an artistic medium to be able to kind of like express myself through.
Yeah, and there's like a lot of influence and oh gosh, lots of influence going on with YouTube poops. And to be square, I made a really crappy poops back then, and I did not like it. So I might come back to it someday and redid it, but at this time, nah.
So crappy poops. Yeah. No, I mean, when Mullet was using Windows Media Maker, I thought, oh man, I've got to, you know, get him to use Vegas because it's just a little bit easier to do sort of hardcore things. Um, and crappy poops. I mean, yeah, all of our poops are crappy, actually.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect, and you're welcome to come back and re-poop it or re-edit it or whatever you call
Well,
it.
thank
But
you.
you're welcome. And also make speakonia videos too, so I haven't made a speakonia video for like a while now. I'm still working on my recent one, but it's gonna take a long while to get it done.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at what I suspect is your portfolio here, and you do have an affinity for the classic sources. I see a few Drew Pickles.
Yep. Drew Pickles goes to insert location here.
Yeah.
I mean, I also make random videos too on there, so cool beans.
Oh, okay. And King Herod, that was a short-lived fad.
Yeah. It was a. I also make tennis collab entries, and I haven't made a tennis in a while though. I just need to. I need to make a call. I need to join a collab in the future though. So.
Well, let me be the first to extend an olive branch to you. We would love to do a collab with you in the future. Maybe something. It's really actually a very kind of democratic process. The way that we both poop together and come up with a final product. And we would absolutely love it if you would be interested.
Okay, so what kind of collabs should I make? Does it have to be free for all? I was thinking of making a free for all. Like it can be funny, it can be spit dinner jokes. It can be any
Yeah.
yeah, it can be anything. So if I have time to get my feet together, I can open a free for all collab
Now,
to everyone.
you as a tenniser, talk about tennis, because I never got into tennis. I couldn't get into it.
Nah,
Okay.
you did tennis. You did some tennis matches. I saw it back in the day. It was like
didn't work out so well.
2010 or something.
Just
No,
that
dude, they were
one worked
good.
out good.
They were funny. Yeah, that one was great.
I think one of the famous tennis I think one of my favorite tennis is Undertale thing tennis. Because all the guys did a good job making it. And I even add Flowey on it, like on every video. Like I think the best one's Flowey scenes from my tennis. You should see it. Trust me, it's hilarious. I love making I did actually a good job making tennis with Stu and other people. But yeah. So,
So, question: how were you ever a part of the YouTube community? When did you join? And did you enjoy yourself while you were there?
well, I joined YouTube when it was in vanilla forms. It was like August of 2007. And 2009 was a bad year for me because people make fun of my art. And back then my art was kind of crappy, but now it's not as much. I'm neutral with YouTube now, but ever since YouTube shut down earlier this year, it was kind of hard to keep up. So, I mean, I'm used to YouTube. It's just I have like mixed feelings about YouTube, and Neon Castle's a little better, and so is YTP Mania.
Yeah, so YouTube decided to kind of branch off, and they took their single website and they made a place for poopers to just talk to each other, where they can talk about other things besides poop, and then they have a place separate for just poopers that poop. Is that correct?
Yeah, the Neon Castle is supposed to be for older audience, and while YTP Mania was about uh YouTube poop for like younger audience, YouTube used to be like together, like until it was closed earlier. But it's kind of a shame because I understand I understand how Welt gone through, and being an admin can be tough work. Because I used to be an admin back in my old forums I used to go to, and one of my friends' forums actually, but it's been years.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot of work to maintain the forums, to have moderators, to have the administrators to watch what everybody's doing too. That's tremendous amount of work. I actually work in computers and do software myself, so I have a tremendous amount of respect for the guys that do that kind of work.
Yeah,
And
same here. I mean, well, not every website lasts long. Let me look at Tumblr, for
yes,
example. It
yeah,
just went downhill,
yep.
and they're not doing any kind of like they're not supporting any artists' stuff anymore, and that's why I'm thinking of moving to somewhere else.
Now
So
you are actually an artist, and so what kind of art do you make besides poop? Is that correct?
yeah, yeah, I made art. I like to draw anime influence cartoon. I always wanted to make like create a series sometime in the future. It's gonna be a Magical Girls series,
Oh, cool.
and
Yeah, yeah,
it's
Okay.
similar to Pretty Cure or Sailor Moon. And
Okay. So magical girls is a genre.
yeah.
yeah,
It's a genre.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right. So sorry, I
yeah. It's
didn't
like the
quite
Sailor Moon. It's
understand the
like the
term.
Sailor Moon genre, or like if you think of it's sort of like Power Rangers, but if they were girls and they have magic, it's a whole genre.
yeah,
Oh, Gem
it's
and the
pretty
Holograms.
popular.
Yeah, I guess you could say Jen and the Holograms. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was probably drawn in Korea.
yeah, Japanese and Korean and America, and yeah, I mean, my genre is pretty popular in Japan, and cartoons got influence from there, and I mean, look at Steven Universe.
I actually failed Art 3. I
Oh
failed
no.
Art 3 in high school. I discovered when I was I was a junior or I was a senior. I discovered I was colorblind, and I honestly didn't know it until I failed art.
Oh
And
no.
yeah, so I'm one of those people
They
who
can be
fail
so
art.
cool with
You never
getting.
fail at art. Even if you have a disability, you don't fail. Never say fail. You never say can't either. I learned that from my
Yes.
mom.
That's true. That's so true. I mean, I tried to just like kind of take it with stride, you know. I did go back to Art 3, and I passed it. So it must have been
Hey,
junior year where I did that.
that's
Yeah.
good that you
I
pass.
I failed photography.
Hey, I mean, that happens. I mean, you can always try again. If you don't want to try again, that's fine too. You just have to keep it up. And nobody's perfect, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, we think you're perfect, actually, and you know, thank you again for coming on and talking with us. It really is a treat. It
It
really is.
is. It is. It's nice to talk to you too. I mean, I have a good time visiting with you guys. I mean, I really enjoy doing all this with you guys, and I want to say thank you to everyone who watched my poops, and I want to say thank you for support with my art, and I want to also thank my boyfriend Adma, who is really supportive, and he's also even he made sprite art too.
Mhm.
I actually support him as well. I love him so much. So
I have made some sprite art, but I'm not the best at it. Now, just to get the opinion of a real artist, and it doesn't have to be a good opinion. Can you see my screen right now?
yes, I can
This
see it.
this is a character idea I had a long time ago. And what it started out, I made this image to put in a poop for like a dumb joke. Somebody says something about Florida, and this guy just like comes up and sings in the middle of it.
Okay, that's pretty good.
But I had an idea for an expanded universe. First of all, his name is AMOF. AMOF is an acronym, Anthropomorphic Map of Florida. And he is a rejected mascot for a government agency who does like lounge singing on the side.
Oh, he's a
You
lounge
know,
singer.
it's funny because my boyfriend's from Florida and we have been together for like years now since the Sprite forums I used to go to. I won't reveal the name of it because it's kind of difficult to, yeah.
Well, let me ask you something. If you would like to mention any way that people could actually help support you with your art endeavors or even your boyfriend's endeavors, please tell them how they could do that.
Well, well, um, be be open-minded, I guess, and don't stress, and don't even don't even worry about things. Don't even worry about negative things coming from, because I learned that lesson before when I was browsing Tumblr, and if a person says negative stuff about you, just ignore them and be positive. Always be positive. And stay determined too.
Cool, very cool.
And I see you got your character on your screen, Mullet.
Yeah. Okay. Now I have a question. You have a video up from 3 years ago. The best poop I ever did. Is it? In your opinion?
What video?
It's
Oh,
called the best poop I ever did.
oh, you mean is she just like making a joke?
Oh, that's for the horrible collab I joined, and they
Oh,
want to make they want to make it's a joke video I made, and I used to make April Fool's joke videos, but I stopped doing it because I'm just not a fan of it, actually, to tell you the truth.
April
But I mean,
Fool's jokes videos?
sometimes. I mean, I made this one video, and it got flagged, unfortunately. It's on Vidly if you want to see it. If not, don't. I recommend I'm not recommending to watch it
Okay.
because it's kind of inappropriate.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, the poops in general skirt the line of appropriateness and inappropriateness. Um, Not everybody's, of course, but I mean, we've made some tongue-in-cheek jokes, Um, in the background of me right now, actually, I am doing on loop the poop that we made of the A team, and we probably I don't know we beat you over the head with the word crack. It's like a crack outfit of a crack team, and they're going to go get crack, and and but my point
it was
is
that
that
announcer. He was emphasizing that word. Like,
yes,
that was an important word to him.
yeah, but my point is that, like, in the art, I mean, when you're traveling down this path of like what is funny, what isn't funny, I felt like poopers were breaking boundaries in a lot of ways. And
Yeah.
of course there, I think Stuart K probably found patterns that were forming, and he would form opinions on them and share them. And I find that enlightening.
Yeah, I mean, Stuart K. Rowley has his own opinions with other poops. I mean, I don't hate him. I just wish I just had this dream that I want to be interviewed with him. It's kind of weird, and now I've been interviewed by you guys,
Yes.
which is kind of surprise.
Well, really, we are the nicer, cuddlier, more attractive. No, I'm kidding about that last part. Stuart K. And we just want to kind of provide a space where it's kind of safe for us to talk about poop, and where we can just kind of talk more back and forth, and get to know the pooper behind the poops, and see if we can bring people together. I mean, you obviously wanted to be showcased by Stuart K. I have a question, because there's something that I'm not really sure of. Did Stuart K actually do interviews with poopers?
I think he did. I always believe he did. And I know he did back then, but now he just doesn't do it anymore for some reason.
Okay, because I guess I've been out of the scene for a long time. I just remember 2010, 2011 Stuart K, when he was just, showcasing various different poopers' work, and then, commenting on them.
Yeah. I mean, he usually does this. Back then when Skype was a thing, he interviews with people on Skype, I think. Which is kind of it's kind of tricky for him. And well, I barely know him, but I'm not really 100% with that. But anyway,
Well,
I'm just saying
maybe. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
maybe maybe he did review Poopers, and I mean I'm a fan of him. I'm before he stopped making YouTube poop news, which is
Yeah.
which is unfortunate.
Yeah, something that Mullet and I have discussed a lot back and forth, just is talking about how much of a force he was in the
Yeah.
community and exposing you to poopers that you wouldn't have otherwise seen. I always thought that was really interesting that you could turn on his show and you could see other poopers that might take you hours and hours to find.
Yeah, I mean, it's not his fault. I mean, he's been attacked by haters, and he's been attacked by trolls, and to me, I think all the years he's been through, I think he kind of deserves out of YouTube poop community because he has nothing to do with it anymore. So I'll support him until the time ends, I guess.
Yeah, because, hey, look, say what you will, but, to say something very positive about Stu, he built this veneer infrastructure that energized the community. People actually thought that was the news in the poop world, like for real. Like, this is the wire service for the poop world, and we will tell you what's going on. This is the actual poop news. People thought that. He pulled that off.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of those guys that reports breaking news over YouTube poop news. YouTube poopers.
Right. But he was always joking, but
he likes to joke too, so but yeah, but it's just hard for him to keep up with things because we have a lot of new poopers coming in and he can't keep up with them anymore, which I can't blame him because I saw like a couple of recent poops from I don't know what the usernames are called, but it's one of those two Dr. Robotniks, and Dr. Robotnik became a thing again. So
the usernames they're hard to keep up with because there will be like 5 guys named Robotnik something. There'll be 10 guys named Captain something, and they are just usernames, and because sometimes I'll get along with somebody really good, and we'll get a good connection in the community, or I just like some poops I saw, and I cannot. Like that poop I described earlier. I remember the poop, but I can't remember who made it. Just too many names. Too many names.
Yeah, I mean, it's harder to keep up with. It's harder to keep up with poopers nowadays because I think I know how Stuart feels, and I know how I feel. I think I know how I feel too because it's harder for me to keep up with other YouTube poopers.
Yeah, I felt that way from the beginning. I mean, when I originally saw YouTube in the community, I felt like, oh, wow, I was kind of overwhelmed by the whole thing. I want to make the art, but I don't think I can keep up with being, in the community. Now, I have a question, though, for you. So how has, from your perspective, how has the pooping community changed? How have you changed since you first started? And what kind of, what moments in the last 10 years have led to, from one thing to another in the pooposphere? so to speak. How do you feel like the poops have changed, and how have you like kind of acclimated yourself to those changes? And just in general, being a pooper that's been around for now almost 10 years, it's just crazy that it's been this long. So take us back. Let us experience what it was like when you first got involved and how things have changed.
Well, it's been like almost 10 years. Well, actually, it's been like over 12 years for me. And, well, back then when YouTube Poop was small, things got really popular quick. And when I was like in sophomore year, when I was in sophomore, I my mind was crazy, and I actually like to make things crazy. I mean, it's a crazy year during the beginnings until things get a little quieter all of a sudden. I mean, you gotta remember though, things got really quiet with YouTube poops for a couple years until recently.
What years? What years would you say it quieted down?
I say 2016 or 2015 when it dies down. There hasn't been any.
No, after I left, it was all downhill.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I guess we kind of stopped. I guess that was in 2014 when we started slowing down. You know, there probably is just a burnout for the real poopers who were pooping a lot, and it's good to see that a new generation came in. And so you're saying that in 2015, 2016, a there was a less poopers pooping, and the scene kind of started to stall out. So there must have been some kind of transitionary period during that time. Like,
Yeah, I mean, it's been gone. There hasn't been any new videos about YouTube poops, and it's just starting to go downhill afterwards because I haven't. When I look at my subscription, there's like no YouTube poops. There's no YouTube poops at all. So it was completely downhill. And I mean, I haven't increased my what do you call them, subscriptions,
mhm.
and I only have like.
Oh, excuse me.
You're excused. But anyway, um, there hasn't been any subscriptions. Like I had like 500 plus subscriptions back then, and it's just slow. And then 2017 came, and it's just there's like um a few, but not much. And that's when I kind of like, you know what, I think I'm burned out kind of feel. And I still continue to make YouTube poops then.
Well,
But
I mean, the
things,
way that you feel is probably very similar to the way that a lot of other people felt at the same
yeah.
time.
You know what, that could be it because a lot of people retire YouTube poop. A lot of people just, a lot of people just like got busy with things, didn't have time to do it. It's like a how do you pronounce it?
Like a memorial.
No,
Mem-
like what do you call the current generation? Like kids generation, like
millennial.
yeah.
There you go.
Millennial. I'm sorry, my speech is a bit off tonight.
Oh, it's okay. You don't have to apologize to us. Thank you. Thank you for being here, doing
Okay,
this.
so the Menenimals, shit, the Menenimals, the people who are born the year 2000 or later.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's when the 90s. Like, I'm a 90s. I was born in the 90s, and people get burned out with the fads. And I guess that's
When? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I think that's when things gone downhill because there hasn't been any much poops until I saw a couple of them this year, but hopefully, hopefully, just hopefully, it might come kick back up someday. Who
Yeah,
knows?
I think so. I think it will end up kicking back up, and the reason why is because a lot of people just take a break. You know, they go to pursue other things and they kind of do it full time. And you've got poopers who are getting older, you've got poopers who are getting wiser, you've got poopers who are remembering the old days, and there's always a certain gloss on the old days. And I think that at
Hmm.
some point, these people are going to start coming back into the scene and they're going to start putting some poops out that are going to blow us away. But what I wanted to ask you something. What years would you say would really like kind of in your mind signify when there were so many poopers and when the poop community was just at the pinnacle, when it was just awesome and there was so much coming out, there was all this new stuff? Like, what years would you say that would be?
I have a feeling 2019 will be the year when things got go uphill again, because I've seen, like, we're like the end of 2018, and I've seen like a couple of new poops appearing on my YouTube dashboard, and I'm like, oh my god, I haven't watched a YouTube poop in a while, and it's just things are going uphill again, and I have a feeling things are gonna come back where it was back in 2007. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's cool.
like we're almost in 2020 in a couple years, and only like 13 months till 2020, if my correct calculations are correct.
Yes. And then we'll have flying cars and sex robots, you know, all kinds of futuristic things. All the cars will drive themselves. I remember reading that 3 years
Yeah.
ago. It was supposed to be by 2020, something like 20% of the cars on the road, or no, it was 2022. 20% of the cars on the road will be, driving themselves. But
Yeah.
I think that the poopers, yeah, I mean, next year is going to be a good time. It's going to be a good year for pooping. I can
I'd
feel
say
that.
I think it's going to be a year of millennium.
Millennials, the
Yep.
millennials, the year of the millennials.
Yep. I just coined it. And I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of poopers out there, old and new. I mean, there's going to be old poopers returning, but I'm not really sure. But it could be, it could be either new poopers or old poopers and current ones. And who knows? We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I have really positive feelings about the future of the poop and the poop scene. In fact, I don't. I feel like maybe YouTube is being very lenient with the art, and maybe they're letting us get away a little bit more with being able to express ourselves through this artistic medium, and it should be really good going into the future here.
Yeah. Like, I think it's fair for all the new people of YouTube explore things. I mean, yeah, there can be some challenges like community is not as great, but to be fair, there's going to be randos in the internet community. There's always going to be randos. I've seen like a set site about it, but I do not want to reveal it on this interview because it's not safe for me to give it out.
Oh, it's not safe for you personally or for us also?
Yeah. I do not I mean, but I want to be more positive about it because I respect people's opinions.
Yeah, to a certain degree. Absolutely. Yeah, I think they're important. It's important to respect people's opinions. Yeah, and you have some fantastic opinions, and you've shared them with us. And I'll tell you, I'll ask you right now, Mullet, should we extend the opportunity to her to end the interview on such a positive note, or it's up to you, Girla, if you would like to.
I can rally personally.
Yeah, but I don't want to. I don't want to keep you longer than we
don't
agreed
want to
upon before.
monopolize.
Yeah, we don't want to monopolize your time, and thank you so much for meeting up with us. You've been amazing, really, and it's just really cool for you to be on here.
Yeah, it was nice having talked to you guys. And I'm going to end on a positive note for everyone. And I want to say this because I love you to poop. And if you want to be creative, go for it. Don't be afraid to create things and stay determined. And I guess that's it.
Inspiring words.
Yep. And remember to stay determined. I said that already, but
No, it's true. It's true. Like when you're younger, I was thinking about this the other day. When you're younger, you have a lot of ambition, and as you start getting older, you kind of like start to lose a little ambition. But what comes in its place is just like a little bit more confidence in yourself, and it's a fair trade.
And you said you like the classic poop memes, so
yes,
I think it should be important to remind people all the positive stuff you said. And if your dinner doesn't arrive in a month, send link. or however that's supposed to go.
Thank you, Girla, so much for doing this with us. Thank you again.
Yes, it was great having you on Poopcast.
You're welcome, and I'm glad to have you guys talk to me about this. And my wish came true, being interviewed by poopers.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's just fantastic, Girla. We would love to have you come back on at a later date. Contact us anytime if you want to make an announcement or anything of the like. Just please get in contact with us and let us know how we can help you.
If you get a new project and you want to, talk about it or spread the word, we could definitely accommodate that.
Yep. And I have an announcement to make.
Okay.
Oh, shoot.
I'm going to do a Let's Play series. Yep. I'm going to play Undertale first. I was supposed to finish my trailer this week, but it didn't happen. So I'm just going to make an announcement right now. So Girla plays Undertale. Okay.
Girla plays Under 2?
Undertale. It's a game.
Undertale. Okay, and so is that how they can find you?
Wait, what?
How can they find you on your stream?
Well, you can find me on my channel, like YTP Girla PH.
Okay. And we will share a link to that with your permission.
Okay. And if the link doesn't work, I can send you the update one, because YouTube is kind of crappy with their links now. It's all gibberish, and I do not like that. So remember, it's YTP Girl PH on YouTube. Search that on the YouTube app if you want.
Thank you again, Girla. I'm going to just go ahead and send us out with some music here. And we just really, we're excited to have you here. And thank you for going through the technical difficulties that we had. And you've just been a terrific guest. And we just love to have you back on. So I'm going to go ahead and get us out of here. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. Don't make us beg. We'll see you later.
Just crush that like button.
Bye,
Demolish
everybody.
It. Bye. Bye.
It's the ultimate shit. Ultimate YouTube poop. Ultimate YouTube poop. Ultimate YouTube poop. Go break dance on your head. You break dance just like your dad. You break dance on your head. It's the ultimate dead. It's the ultimate poop. Yeah, it's the ultimate poop. No, it's the ultimate poop. Huh? It's the ultimate poop. I don't even care. The cops gonna come on, knocking in my underwear. It's the ultimate poop. What? It's the ultimate poop. I shit myself. It's the ultimate motherfucking poop. I can't believe they did it. I can't believe they did it. I can't believe they did it, and it's just a free edit. I can't believe they did it, and it's just a free edit. How they make a poop like this? How they make a poop so nice? How they make a poop so fine? Where the hell did this come from? I ain't never seen a poop like this before. What line did it come from? It sounds like angel must come down from heaven and give me this poop down. Angel must come down from heaven and give me this poop can. Angel must come down from heaven and end that shit for them. Angels must come down from heaven, or they're ducking out from hell and came on up and said, I got a poop for you. I've seen some other people's poops and I just don't like them. I'm gonna show you how to poop it right. I'm gonna show you the ultimate poop tonight. And then motherfucker devil came on down and he showed us motherfucker how to do those. And they said, boy, let me show you how it's done. Run on the mountain, run, run, run.